Alright, so picture this. A quiet mountain village in Japan. The kind of place where absolutely nothing is supposed to happen. And then, one rainy night, everything happens. A kid named Hikaru walks into the mountains, and something else walks out, wearing his face. That's the whole show in one sentence. And somehow, it still isn't ready for what it's about to put you through. Let's go! We open in the freezing rain before the main story even starts. A search party is tearing through the forest, looking for a missing teenager named Hikaru Indo. While the adults are giving up, his best friend, Yoshiki Tsujinaka, refuses to stop looking. Deep in the trees, Hikaru is already dying, and something ancient in those mountains notices him. It doesn't save him, it becomes him. Jump 6 months forward. It's summer now, blazing hot, and Hikaru is back, eating ice cream, teasing his best friend like nothing ever happened. Except Yoshiki has had a gut feeling eating him alive since the day his friend came back different. So he just asks, straight up,
お前やっぱ光っちゃうやろ
"You're not really Hikaru, are you?" And the thing wearing Hikaru's face freezes. Its mask slips for 1 second, and it admits the truth. The real Hikaru died on that mountain, and it took over what was left. It swears it doesn't want to hurt anyone. It just wants to keep being human, keep being Hikaru, keep being Yoshiki's best friend. And Yoshiki, grieving, terrified, unwilling to lose his friend twice, makes the worst decision of his life. He agrees to keep the secret. The village doesn't feel the same way. An old woman spots Hikaru in the street and loses it completely, screaming that the mountain god has come down among them. Yoshiki hustles his friend away, but the damage is done. Because somewhere out there, something is already watching this village a lot more closely than anyone realizes. Police cars roll through Kubitachi the next morning. That old woman who screamed at Hikaru? Dead. Officially ruled a suicide. But the how is the kind of detail nobody wants to say out loud in daylight. At school, the rumor mill is working overtime, and Yoshiki can't stop connecting dots he doesn't want connected. When a classmate begs the group to walk him home through the woods because the path freaks him out, Hikaru volunteers to tag along. Easy as that. And the second they're deep in the trees, something in the shadows locks onto Yoshiki like a heat-seeking missile. Before it can get to him, Hikaru straight up swallows it, whole, casual, like a snack. Back at school, curiosity gets the better of Yoshiki, and Hikaru shows him exactly what he's capable of, cracking open his own chest, inviting his best friend to reach inside. It's intimate. It's horrifying. And it tells Yoshiki everything he needed to know about how not human his friend actually is now. Oh, and somewhere on the road into town, a stranger named Tanaka is heading their way, carrying a hamster cage like it's the most normal accessory in the world. He's not from around here. He's not here to make friends either. We flash back to 2 little kids crying over watermelon seeds, convinced they're about to sprout into human melons. Cute. Devastating in hindsight, because that little kid grew up and is now being cosplayed by a curious entity that genuinely doesn't know what its own feelings are. In the present, Yoshiki meets a woman named Rie Kurebayashi at a local shop. She clocks his grief immediately because she's lived it. Her own husband came back different once too, and it did not end well for her family. She's not vague about her warning. Whatever's wearing Hikaru's face, don't let it get any closer. Yoshiki spirals. He avoids Hikaru for a full day, and when they finally cross paths again, it turns into their first real fight. Hikaru hurt that Yoshiki's keeping secrets. Yoshiki hurt because his best friend is dead and nobody else on Earth knows it. It's messy. It's the kind of fight only 2 people who love each other could have. Lantern lights, festival stalls, the whole nostalgic summer package. Except Yoshiki's little sister Kaoru gets side-eyed by the crowd for skipping school. And Hikaru, weirdly perceptive for a supernatural entity, is the one who steps in to make her smile again. Genuinely sweet moment, honestly. While the kids enjoy the festival, the village elders are having a much darker conversation indoors with Tanaka. Turns out the Indo family, Hikaru's family, has been the designated keeper of something called Nonuki-sama for 300 years. Something that's supposed to stay locked away. Something only the Indos know how to handle. And now the last Indo who knew the rituals is gone, replaced by a creature who doesn't remember any of it. Small detail nobody clocks yet. Hikaru physically can't step onto the shrine grounds. He makes an excuse and bails before anyone asks why. Kaoru finds a horrifying clump of hair clogging the bathroom drain and swears the house is haunted. Reasonable reaction, honestly. Hikaru offers to look into it personally, fully convinced his best friend's little sister isn't just imagining things. And he's right to trust her, because whatever's haunting that bathroom is very real and very much a problem. Cue a flashback to a much lighter tragedy. A childhood pet bird the boys raised together, and young Yoshiki's blunt, almost cold reaction to its death. Everything dies eventually. No need to make a big deal out of it. It's a gut punch of a callback. Because present-day Yoshiki, the one who can't let go of anything anymore, is basically unrecognizable from that kid. By the end of the episode, Tanaka is closing in. He's starting to connect the dots between the village's death toll and one particular teenage boy who returned from the mountain a little too intact. Class discussion time. The teacher assigns a story about death and transformation, and Yoshiki, Asako, and Yuta end up in a low-key philosophical debate about whether something that changes completely is still the same thing it used to be. Nobody in that classroom knows they're basically describing Hikaru out loud. That night, the whole friend group has a sleepover at Hikaru's place. Fireworks, snacks, normal teenage stuff for once. It's genuinely sweet watching Hikaru experience childlike joy over sparklers, like he's discovering what fun even is. But normal doesn't last long in this show. When the lighter runs out, Hikaru and Asako slip off to the store together, and Yoshiki, worried, follows. Asako's been quietly sensitive to the supernatural this whole time, and tonight, her instincts finally catch up to the truth. She starts putting pieces together about what Hikaru actually is, and that almost gets her killed. Hikaru, panicking that his secret's about to blow up, comes dangerously close to silencing her permanently, before Yoshiki catches up and stops it just in time. Hikaru is a wreck with guilt over what almost happened to Asako. Terrified Yoshiki will finally hate him for it. Yoshiki, for his part, is done pretending everything's fine. He finally, fully understands how dangerous his best friend actually is, especially after Hikaru casually admits he barely sees a difference between the living and the dead. So Yoshiki does something reckless. He convinces Hikaru to skip school with him, just the two of them. One last perfect day, before Yoshiki decides what to do next. Movies, the mall, claw machines. It plays like a date. Honestly, it kind of is one. It's the calm before an absolutely brutal storm. Yoshiki spends the cold open Googling how to get blood out of a white shirt, which tells you everything about what happened at the end of that perfect day. Yoshiki actually stabbed Hikaru, trying to give him one last happy memory before ending things himself. Didn't work. Hikaru can't be killed like that. Instead, he tears off a literal piece of his own body and hands it to Yoshiki, insisting that holding on to it will keep his power in check. Shaken, but still a team, the boys dig into the mystery of Nonuki-sama together. Hikaru's grandfather has answers, but they come out in half-asleep mumbling about a murder village and someone called Hichi-san who needs to be returned to the mountain. Cryptic, ominous, extremely unhelpful in the moment. That name, Hichi-san is going to matter a lot later. Meanwhile, Asako reveals she's lost hearing in one ear ever since her run-in with Hikaru, a permanent scar from a night she doesn't fully understand yet. And at a diner, Yoshiki has his first real brush with Tanaka, right before Tanaka's creepy little hunting dog tracks Hikaru down and traps the boys in a nightmare that isn't fully their own. Yoshiki finally introduces Hikaru to Rie Kurebayashi, and she opens up about her own tragedy, how her returned husband eventually hurt their son, how she still can't fully let go of loving what he used to be. It's a mirror held up directly at Yoshiki's face, and everyone in the room knows it. She agrees to help them anyway. The boys go looking for more answers from old man Takeda, who's been dreading exactly this conversation. He blames the Indo family's ancestors for a disgraceful request generations ago that cursed this village permanently. Right as he starts explaining what that request actually was, an impurity possesses him and lunges at Hikaru. That's when Tanaka shows up, for real. He puts down the possessed old man without breaking a sweat, and then, calm as anything, turns around and slices Hikaru's head clean off his shoulders. Yoshiki is left screaming, holding his best friend's severed head, while something otherworldly starts pouring out of the wound like liquid mercury. Both boys wake up in the hospital. Hikaru is alive, of course he is, but visibly weaker, and for the first time, capable of actually feeling pain. Rie sits with them and lays out more of what she knows. This region is haunted by a decades-old atrocity. Human remains scattered across the mountain, every part accounted for, except the skulls. Tanaka, meanwhile, is thrilled with himself, practically giddy that the entity chose to weaken itself the moment it started calling itself Hikaru. We also learn Tanaka is completely blind without special company-issued glasses, which raises about 1,000 new questions on top of the ones we already had. Back home, Yoshiki's dad, normally distant and checked out, actually rushes home the moment he hears his son's in the hospital. Small crack in the family armor. Meanwhile, Yoshiki finally sits down and mourns the real Hikaru properly. And the new Hikaru asks him, point blank,
武田のじいさんってさ、あの後どうなったんやろ?
Did you used to have feelings for the boy I replaced? Yoshiki doesn't answer. He doesn't deny it either. Yoshiki goes straight to his father for answers, and finally gets them. Generations back, an Indo family leader lost his wife. He begged the mountain god to bring her back. In exchange, he promised the god a steady supply of human heads. The wife came back to life for exactly one day before dying again for good, and 1/3 of the village died with her, every single one of them, missing their heads. The head kept enshrined in the Indo family shrine this whole time, the one they call Hichi-san, is hers. At school, Yoshiki shares everything he's learned. Hikaru listens, curious about the real Hikaru he's replaced, still refusing to take back the piece of himself he gave up, even though it's clearly weakening him. As they walk the empty hallways together, something shifts in Hikaru, drawn almost helplessly to whatever fire is still burning inside Yoshiki. Last day of school before summer break, Hikaru, under a strict promise not to hurt anyone, finally faces Asako again, the girl he nearly killed weeks earlier, and has to sit with the full weight of what he's done to the people around him. Later, he opens up to Yoshiki about wanting to return to the mountain for good, wondering out loud if that would finally stop the impurities and keep the village safe. On a whim, the two of them jump on a train and head to the beach instead. Hikaru's first time ever seeing the ocean, and it hits him like nothing else has all summer. As the sun goes down, Hikaru tells Yoshiki everything. How the real Hikaru's last wish in his final dying moment was simply not to leave Yoshiki alone. And now that Hikaru understands what that means, he thinks the kindest thing he can do is let Yoshiki go, disappear back into the mountain, give his best friend a normal life. Yoshiki isn't having any of it. Whatever's sitting next to him on that beach, human or not, real Hikaru or not, he doesn't want a normal life without him. It's the rawest, most honest either of them have been all season. And then Tanaka shows up, casually strolls onto the beach like he was invited, and drops the single most destabilizing line of the entire show.
脳抜き様ね、あれ存在してないんです。
Nonuki-sama never existed in the first place. No explanation, no follow-up, just that, and the tide coming in. Season 1 ends there. Hikaru staying, the village's real curse still unsolved, and Tanaka clearly sitting on secrets big enough to blow the whole story wide open in Season 2. So that's Season 1 of The Summer Hikaru Died. 12 episodes, one dead best friend, one monster wearing his face, and a village with way more buried heads than buried secrets. If you made it this far, subscribe, because the second this show drops more episodes, we are absolutely covering it.